What if I told you there's a place where every street feels like a movie scene, where every bite tastes like tradition, and every sunset could be the best you've ever seen? That place is Italy, a country where history breathes through marble ruins and creativity drips from every fresco. From floating cities to volcanic coastlines, medieval towers to modern fashion capitals, Italy is not just one experience, it's 100 stories woven into one land. Whether you're chasing art, food, romance, or adventure, Italy delivers it all with elegance and soul. In this video, we're counting down the 10 absolute best places to visit in Italy. Iconic spots and hidden gems that deserve a place on your bucket list. So, if you're ready to fall in love with Italy, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let's begin the journey together. Rome, a city where time doesn't just pass, it lingers. Here, the ancient and the modern walk side by side in a place where every alley echoes with the footsteps of centuries. Imagine standing where Caesar once spoke, where artists painted ceilings that touched the divine, where saints were crowned, and where empires fell, all in one city. This is Rome, the eternal city, not just a destination, but a living, breathing museum of the Western world. We begin our journey at the mighty Colosseum, perhaps the most recognized symbol of ancient Rome. Completed in 80 AD, the Colosseum could hold more than 50,000 people, cheering for blood, for glory, and for entertainment that pushed the limits of human endurance. Today the arena stands silent, yet powerful, a reminder of how much we've changed, and how little we really have. From there we walk just a few steps into the Roman Forum, the heartbeat of the ancient empire. This is where decisions were made that shaped the fate of continents. Imagine Cicero's voice ringing here, or a triumphal procession marching through the crowd, and then the Pantheon, an architectural marvel that has stood the test of time. Built to honor all Roman gods, its perfect symmetry and celestial design still leave visitors speechless. But Rome is not only about grand monuments, it's also about everyday beauty. Walk down a quiet alley and you might find ivy-covered balconies, tiny chapels, and locals laughing over espresso. At every corner, art is not hidden in museums, it's part of the streets. Marble fountains gurgle beneath ancient statues, and even ruins blend into everyday life. Next, we head to Vatican City, the smallest country in the world, and home to some of the grandest works of faith and art. Inside St. Peter's Basilica, sunlight streams through stained glass windows, casting a divine glow on white marble floors. This is faith made visible. But the true masterpiece lies in the Sistine Chapel. Look up. There, Michelangelo's brush gave birth to some of the most iconic images ever painted. Back outside, Rome welcomes you with more surprises, like the Spanish Steps, connecting elegance and street life in perfect harmony. Or toss a coin into the Trevi Fountain and join the millions who've whispered dreams into its waters, hoping to one day return to this city of wonders. End your day in a Roman piazza, streetlights flickering, violins playing, people dining under stars. This is La Dolce Vita, the sweet life. Rome isn't just a place you visit, it's a place that becomes part of you. A city that stays with you long after you leave. A city with no roads, no cars, just canals, gondolas, and centuries of mystery floating on water. Welcome to Venice, the city built on dreams. Venice isn't just a place, it's a feeling, a soft hush of water instead of traffic. The scent of the sea mixed with fresh espresso, the echo of footsteps on centuries-old stone. Built across 118 islands, connected by over 400 bridges, Venice is a miracle of architecture and resilience. A city that floats, yet never sinks. Our journey begins in St. Mark's Square, Piazza San Marco, the heart of Venice. Here, history, religion and power come together under golden mosaics and Byzantine domes. Just beside it stands the Campanile, a 99-meter bell tower that offers one of the best panoramic views in all of Italy. Step outside and you'll hear music in the air, violins, voices and waves. It's not a soundtrack, it's real life in Venice. Next, we drift along the Grand Canal, Venice's main artery. Lined with palaces, churches, and centuries-old merchant houses, it's a floating museum of Venetian wealth and elegance. The Rialto Bridge arches proudly above it all. Built in the 16th century, it's more than just a crossing, it's a symbol of Venice's commercial heart. Venture deeper and you'll find the quieter Venice, where clotheslines hang above secret canals, and every turn reveals a hidden courtyard or silent square. No visit to Venice is complete without a gondola ride. It's not just romantic, it's a tradition, passed down through generations of gondoliers who know every twist of the canals. At night, Venice transforms, the crowds thin, the lanterns glow, and the entire city seems to float between dream and memory. But Venice is fragile, rising tides threaten its foundations. Every ripple on the water tells a story, not just of beauty, but of endurance. Still, Venice survives, and it invites you not just to see it but to feel it, to listen to its whispers, to follow its shadows, to fall in love with its slowness. Venice may be sinking, but its spirit is rising. Come before it fades, and when you do, let it leave a ripple in your soul. Florence, where art was reborn, and the world changed forever. Here, every street, every stone, every dome holds the heartbeat of the Renaissance. This is the city of Michelangelo, Leonardo Botticelli, and so many more. The birthplace of the Renaissance was not a palace, but a people. We begin at the heart of Florence, the Florence Cathedral or Il Duomo with its iconic red dome and breathtaking facade. Designed by Filippo Brunelleschi in the 15th century, this dome was considered impossible to build, until Florence made it real. Just steps away lies the baptistery, one of Florence's oldest buildings, with bronze doors so magnificent they were nicknamed the Gates of Paradise. From here, follow the narrow streets to the Uffizi Gallery, home to one of the world's greatest art collections. Stand face to face with Botticelli's The Birth of Venus, and feel the breath of classical myth come alive in paint and light. Just a few minutes' walk brings you to the Ponte Vecchio, the oldest bridge in Florence, and one of the few in the world still lined with shops. During World War II, every bridge in Florence was destroyed. Except this one. Hitler himself reportedly spared it for its beauty. Now cross to the other side, to the Oltrarno district, where Florence's soul becomes more intimate. Here, artisans still carve, stitch, and sculpt just like centuries ago. Climb a little higher to Piazzale Michelangelo, a viewpoint that rewards you with one of the most iconic panoramas in all of Italy. At sunset, the city turns to gold. The rooftops glow, the river mirrors fire, and Florence whispers to every traveler, "You'll come back." Florence doesn't ask you to rush. It asks you to look closely, to slow down, to see the divine in the human, and the eternal in the everyday. If this city touched your soul like it touched the world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with us for more timeless journeys across Italy. Rugged cliffs, pastel villages, winding roads that flirt with the edge of the sea. Welcome to the Amalfi Coast, Italy's most breathtaking coastal escape. Stretching for 50 kilometers along Italy's southern coast, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is a ribbon of beauty carved into mountains that dive into turquoise waters. Our journey begins in the postcard-perfect town of Positano, a vertical village where every balcony has a sea view. No roads, no rush, just cobblestone paths and lemon-scented air. This is where time slows down and the soul catches up. From Positano, we drive along the Amalfi Drive, one of the world's most scenic coastal roads, carved into cliffs that plunge straight into the sea. Next, we arrive in Amalfi, once a powerful maritime republic, now a peaceful town with a rich heritage and a towering cathedral. Inside Amalfi's cathedral, golden mosaics and striped columns rise into a ceiling filled with history. Outside, the square bustles with cafes and the scent of fresh pastries. Now we climb toward Ravello, perched high above the sea with gardens that have inspired composers, poets, and painters for centuries. Villa Ruffolo, another jewel of Ravello, looks out over lemon groves and terraced hills, where music festivals echo through medieval walls. Further along the coast lies the hidden gem of Atrani, Italy's smallest municipality with a sun-kissed beach and sleepy charm untouched by tourism. Every turn along the Amalfi coast reveals something magical, from cliffside lemon groves to ancient watchtowers keeping silent guard over the sea. Here, beauty isn't just seen, it's tasted, breathed, and felt in every wave and breeze. The Amalfi coast doesn't ask you to explore, it seduces you to stay. 5 villages, 1 wild coastline, infinite charm. Welcome to Cinque Terre, where cliffs wear color and the sea never leaves your side. Nestled in the Ligurian cliffs between sky and sea, Cinque Terre is not one town, but 5. Monterosso, Vernazza, Cornelia, Manarola, and Rio Maggiore. Our adventure begins in Monterosso al Mare, the only village with a true beach, where striped umbrellas stretch into the horizon. Follow the cliffs south and you'll find Vernazza, perhaps the most photographed village in all of Italy. Here life moves with the rhythm of waves and footsteps, no cars, no rush. Just laughter, espresso, and the smell of sea and basil. From Vernazza we hike the Blue Trail, a scenic path that hugs the cliffs and opens to soul-stirring views at every turn. We reach Corniglia, the only village not directly on the sea. Instead it sits proudly on a cliff, 100 meters high, surrounded by terraced vineyards. Corniglia is quiet, poetic, a village for thinkers, writers, and those who love to get lost in silence. Further down the coast lies Manarola, a splash of rainbow colors that seems to grow right out of the rocks. Here, romance floats in the air, from candlelit dinners to cliff dives at sunset. Manarola seduces the heart. Finally, we arrive at Rio Maggiore, the gateway to Cinque Terre, and a village of cascading houses and secret stone tunnels. Cinque Terre isn't just a place, it's a palette of colors, a rhythm of waves, a dream you hike through and never quite forget. If your heart is now somewhere on these cliffs, let us take you further. Like, subscribe, and join us as we uncover more of Italy's hidden paradises. In Milan, style isn't worn, it's lived. From the catwalks to the cobblestones, this is where fashion breathes and art becomes architecture. Our journey begins at the heart of it all, Piazza del Duomo, where centuries of devotion rise into marble perfection. This cathedral took nearly 6 centuries to complete, and it shows in every sculpted angel and towering spire. Right beside the cathedral is Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, not just a mall but a masterpiece of glass, iron, and elegance. Step inside and you'll find Prada, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton, but look up and you'll see Renaissance artistry meeting 19th century engineering. But Milan isn't just elegance, it's energy. Head to Brera, and you'll feel the pulse of creativity in its studios, galleries, and cafe tables. Next we visit the Church of Santa Maria del Grazie, home to one of the most iconic paintings in human history, Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. This masterpiece isn't just viewed, it's felt, a fragile mural painted on dry plaster surviving war, time, and the weight of its own genius. But Milan's creativity doesn't live in the past. Walk through the modern skyline of Porta Nuova, and you'll see the future rising in glass and steel. Milan is a city of contrasts. Gothic spires and fashion runways, Renaissance walls and futuristic towers, espresso bars and Michelin stars. And it all pulses together, through art, fashion, design, and innovation. Milan doesn't just inspire, it creates. So whether you're here for the fashion or the frescoes, Milan welcomes you, not just to visit, but to feel its rhythm and become part of its style. Imagine waking up to a mirror-like lake framed by snow-dusted mountains and sleepy villas. Welcome to Lake Como, where nature whispers and luxury answers. Nestled in northern Italy, Lake Como is shaped like an upside-down Y, a natural masterpiece dotted with charming towns and luxurious estates. Our journey begins in Como town, home to centuries of history, Romanesque cathedrals, and a lakeside promenade buzzing with life. Take the funicular to Brunate, and you'll see Como from the clouds, rooftops, sailboats, and mountains melting into the lake. From Como we cruise north to Bellagio, the pearl of the lake, where cobblestone alleys spill into bougainvillea-covered balconies. Here, boutique shops and gelato stands share walls with centuries-old palaces and luxury villas that host the world's elite. Just across the water lies Verona, a quieter, more romantic village where time slows down and colors deepen at sunset. Verona is known for its gardens, especially Villa Monastero, where fountains, cypress trees, and lakeside views feel like a living painting. Further west we discover Menaggio, a lively lakeside town with piazzas full of music, laughter, and the scent of espresso in the air. Lake Como is also known for its villas, opulent estates like Villa Carlotta and Villa del Balbianello that tell stories of aristocracy, art, and film. And then there's the quiet, the kind of silence you only find where mountains meet water and beauty doesn't shout, it whispers. Lake Como isn't just a destination, it's a feeling, one of grace, calm, and timeless elegance. It happened in just 24 hours, a booming city full of life, silenced by fire and ash, and for nearly 2,000 years Pompeii waited beneath the earth, frozen in time. Today we walk through what's left, not just stones but lives, homes, theaters, bakeries, even graffiti, perfectly preserved since 79 AD. We begin at the Forum, the heart of Roman public life. Here, citizens debated politics, traded goods, and worshipped their gods beneath an open sky. Step into the Villa of the Mysteries, a Roman mansion wrapped in mystery where crimson murals tell a secret story of initiation and ritual. Walk the stone streets and you'll find fast food counters called Thermopolia, where citizens grabbed hot meals just like we do today. Even their words survive, scratched into walls, etched with love, humor, and politics. I don't want to sell kisses. Lucius was here. It's ancient Rome, with attitude. Let's visit the amphitheater, the oldest surviving Roman amphitheater in the world. It once echoed with gladiator battles, music, and the roar of a crowd thirsty for drama. Next to it lies the Palestra, a training ground where young Romans practiced wrestling and swimming beneath the sun. But Pompeii's most haunting legacy is its people. The ash didn't just bury buildings, it preserved final moments. They were frozen in motion. Parents shielding children, people praying, fleeing, embracing, as if the city whispered their stories for us to hear. Pompeii is more than a ruin. It's a time capsule, a mirror into ancient life, frozen not just in tragedy, but in everyday humanity. And when you leave Pompeii, you don't just carry photos, you carry perspective of how fragile, how fleeting, and how beautiful life truly is. There's a place in Italy where the land flows like a painting. Golden hills, winding roads, and vineyards glowing under the Tuscan sun. Welcome to Tuscany, a region where time slows down and every sunset feels like a painting you can step inside. Our journey begins in Florence, the beating heart of the Renaissance. Here, art and architecture live on in every corner. But the soul of Tuscany lives in its countryside, in ancient hill towns where the rhythm of life is slower and the flavors are richer. We wind our way to Siena, a city of red brick and fierce tradition. Its shell-shaped piazza has seen centuries of horse races, pageantry, and pride. Just outside the cities, rows of grapevines stretch endlessly across the land. This is Chianti, the beating heart of Tuscan wine. In Tuscany, meals aren't rushed, they're celebrated. Simple ingredients become masterpieces when cooked with patience and love. We head to Pienza, a hilltop town famous for its pecorino cheese and views so perfect they inspired popes and poets. Then comes Montepulciano, a wine lover's dream. Here underground cellars tell centuries-old stories through every glass of Vino Nobile, and while the vineyards, villages, and villas enchant the eye, Tuscany's true magic lives in the feeling it leaves behind. Tuscany isn't just a place, it's a mood. It's slow mornings, deep flavors, and moments that feel like memories before they even end. Two names, Romeo and Juliet, a love story that began right here, in Verona. But this city is more than a stage for Shakespeare, it's a living masterpiece, where ancient stones whisper stories of love, war, and wonder. Our journey begins at Juliet's house, where thousands leave letters in search of hope, forgiveness, or forever love. But just steps away, history rises in the form of Verona Arena, older than the Colosseum, and still echoing with music after 2,000 years. We wander to Castelvecchio, a 14th century fortress and bridge that guarded the city and now guards its memories. And then there's Piazza dei Signori, a place of poets, rulers, and revolutions. A silent square where every stone has something to say. Verona's bridges aren't just crossings, they're timelines. Walk across Ponte Pietra, and you're stepping over Roman stones still holding strong after 2,000 years. Climb to Castel San Pietro, a viewpoint where Verona spills out like a painting. Terracotta rooftops, bell towers, and the river curving like a ribbon through history. But Verona isn't trapped in the past. It's alive with culture, festivals, and the timeless rhythm of Italian life. It's in the echo of opera through ancient walls, in the clink of wine glasses under string lights, in every whispered "Ti amo" on a quiet balcony. Verona doesn't just tell a love story, it lives it, in every street, every stone, and every heart that dares to feel. From the crumbling ruins of Pompeii to the glittering shops of Milan, from the quiet vineyards of Tuscany to the crashing waves of the Amalfi coast, we've explored islands painted in pastels, villages carved into cliffs, and streets that still echo with history, art, and whispered love. But Italy is more than beauty, it's emotion. It's in every sip of wine, every step through stone alleys, every golden sunset that takes your breath away. If these places touched your soul, don't stop here. Like this video, subscribe, and join us on the next chapter of this journey across the world's most beautiful destinations.